Hello everyone, welcome to today's video where today we have another, haul unboxing from Big Bag Toy Store. So yeah, we'll get into that. But first I just want to say I picked this guy up from Amazon like on Tuesday, but I haven't reviewed him yet or looked at him yet because I started some new meds and they've been making me a little sick and drowsy, so that's, I won't get into the specifics on what that is, but I have played with this guy. I plan on probably reviewing him today because, I disassembled the cake and stuff and put it back in the packaging, so I'll probably take a look at him later today. But yeah, this guy's actually really fun to play with. I really recommend him. I got him for, he was like $64 on Amazon, which is, I have some thoughts about that, but we'll get into the actual unboxing. And this is going to be a pretty light one. I didn't get a lot this month because most of the figures I got were more expensive, more high-end. Even with the budget figures, I got budget figures, the Marvel Legends. They're the more expensive ones, and you'll see what I mean in a second. We do have a box. I don't want to show off the shipping label or anything. So I'm just going to cut this open and we'll take a look at everything inside. Me dangerously cut towards myself on camera. And now we will sit this down below and we will look at everything inside. Okay. First, let's start off with the first thing on top. I got the Riders series, I think that's what they were calling it. The Professor X to go with my X-Men, because I needed this. My dream was for Mezco to make a Professor X, because I know they would kill it on the hover chair, and the suited body would just work better for a Mezco. But this guy will hold me over until if they ever do that. But yeah, this is my Professor X. This is the Professor X I think of the most when I think of Professor X. So I'm glad that I finally was able to pick this guy up. I'm glad that I waited to buy all these. I would have bought this one on like for 4 times the amount he goes for. Same with the Mafex Gambit and Psylocke, but then they all got reissues, so I'm so happy about that. Next up we have another Marvel Legends. I got the Siren from the Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure series, which looking at this now, I kind of do want the rest of the series. I have the Wolverine, but he doesn't come with a piece. Because I've kind of started the Reavers with Lady Deathstrike, so, but I got her because I will be picking up Banshee, and this is Banshee's daughter, so it's nice to get a Teresa. Yeah. So it's nice to get her. Well, I'll probably just open up her and a couple of the other figures I have in this video instead of doing a separate Toy-tacular that I think that's what I'm calling it, Toy-tacular. Because I don't have too many that I want to lump in on one video, so I'll probably just look at them in this video. But, including in that is also, I got the Rose, because I got Kingpin, I now have Kingpin, Hammerhead, Tombstone, and Jigsaw. So I'm building out the Marvel Criminal Underworld, and the Rose, I feel like, is definitely a big part of that, and this is Kingpin's son, so I'll probably also be opening him up. He's not too unique, so I don't feel like he needs his own video or anything. And then, similarly in that vein, the Abomination Build-A-Figure, Gamerverse Wave Kamala Khan. I need to call it Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel for the shelf, and this is the closest to the comic book one without going back and finding, because it's kind of hard to find that old comic book one. This is the one I usually find, and she's pretty close to comic book. And if we ever get an updated one, pinless, better articulation, I'll pick that up. But yeah, I wanted her to go with my Gwenpool and my Miles and Spider-Gwen. And if I ever get Kid Nova, put all those together for the champions and stuff. And then I also got the MCU Jane Foster Thor. Mostly because she'll work as a comic book Thor until we get an updated comic book Mighty Thor. And I really like this version of Thor in the comics. They definitely missed in the movie, but that whole movie was a miss for me for the most part. But she will work pretty well until then. I don't buy MCU figures, but she'll work. And similarly, up next, another MCU figure, Red Hulk. Once again, this is from Captain America: Brave New World. This is probably the one of, if not the newest figure I picked up. I want the comic book Red Hulk, but this will hold me over until I can find a cheap one of them. I got this for $30, and the comic book Red Hulk, since he was a Target exclusive, he goes for, I've been seeing him for $70 sometimes, so I think we'll get an updated Red Hulk eventually, and then I'll just pick that up. And then this one I could add the glasses and mustache to a custom head sculpt or something, because that's the version of Thunderbolt Ross I like. And honestly, I might be one of the few people that actually liked this movie. I thought this was... I had a fun time. It's not as good as any of the other Captain America movies. Might be as good as Civil War, because I'm one of those few people that does not like Civil War. But I'm actually glad this doesn't look like Harrison Ford, because I can use it as a comic book Red Hulk. And that's my favorite Hulk. Red Hulk is my favorite Hulk. So... and next up, the next budget figure I got that is also very not cheap, Captain America, Sam Wilson, Captain America. This is my favorite Captain America suit, and it's probably my favorite version of Captain America just overall. And I know there's people that don't like him, and I'm not gonna get into all that, but I like Sam Wilson. I've always liked Sam Wilson's cap, and it's my favorite, at least my favorite suit. I do like Steve Rogers. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't like Steve Rogers. But I think I like Sam better as Cap. But can't have this version of Cap without the OG Cap. So I'm not knocking Steve Rogers. I just like Sam Wilson. And then the Captain America I don't like very much is Bucky. I'm not a big fan of Bucky Barnes in general. He's okay. I liked him when he was the kid Captain America sidekick, but he's okay in the movies. He's just not my favorite character. I don't love him, don't hate him. He's just there. And I'm not a big fan of the suit, but I wanted to have him because he was on sale on Big Bad Toy Store I wouldn't call it a sale because he was on for $24.99, which was the regular price for Marvel Legends. He was for like $30-$40 before that, but I got him on sale, so. And then the last Marvel Legends I've got, I think this might be the newest one. At least this is the newest Marvel Legends, actually. Came in stock on Big Bad Toy Store. This is the Dark Avengers Warbird. I mostly just got this because I don't really care that much about the Dark Avengers. I might complete that team one day, maybe. But this works as just a Carol Danvers. I don't need this as the Dark Avengers, like Moonstone version. Because she kind of looked like this on one of the cartoons. Earth's Mightiest, maybe, is the one she looked like. And I can just use this as Carol Danvers until then. Until I find the other one. Because I do prefer the other look, but I could not find her for less than, like, what, $50, $60 on eBay. So, fuck that. I'm not doing that. Especially for a body that I've seen before, a couple times before. It's not like this is the brand new technology or anything. I got the Black Widow on this body for way cheaper, so. But I got this version of Warbird. And then next, we'll go with, this is probably the figure I'm most excited for, honestly. I picked up the Mezco G.I. Joe Roadblock, and he will definitely be getting his own review. I don't really have that many G.I. Joe figures. I have the Army Builders that I use as Army Builders. I have the Mezco Snake Eyes, which I converted into a Red Hood. I have the Classified series. I had the movie Snake Eyes. I've tore that to shit. I have the Classified series Storm Shadow because he's my favorite. And then same with the, I have the Classified series Snake Eyes. And then I think that's all I have. I'm gonna get the Mezco Classified series, or the Mezco Storm Shadow eventually, because I took the Cobra insignia off of mine, because I wanted to put that with my Joes, because I like a good guy Storm Shadow. But I got this in preparation because I'm going to be getting the retro Scarlet, Duke, and Cobra Commander. And this came in stock I was so happy because I was just going to get the Classified series, but this is the version I really wanted. So I'm glad I have this. This is only my second Mezco G.I. Joe, followed by my third Mezco G.I. Joe, which is Destro. And I only got this guy because he was $50. I could not pass this guy up for $50. A Mezco for $50 is just too good a deal. Because I'm not really that big of a Destro fan. Like, he's a cool character, I guess. But I'm more in the Joes than the Cobra. The Cobra, besides Cobra Commander, I like Cobra Commander's look, and I like who he is, and the Baroness. And, okay, I guess. And Storm Shadow's my favorite G.I. Joe character. So I guess I do like the Cobras probably more than the Joes, but Destro's just never been my favorite character. But he has a cool look, and for $50, you can pass that up. And lastly, I think this is the actual newest figure I picked up. This is the figure I was most excited for. The SH Figure Arts Romance Dawn Zorro. This is the Zorro I've been waiting for, and from the reviews, he's actually good. So that makes me really happy. This is my favorite look for Zorro, so I'm happy that at least if one of them had to get the shit into the stick and one of them got the good figure, I'm glad that this is the one that got the good figure because this is my Zorro. This makes me so happy to get. So, yeah, that's everything I picked up this month. Like I said, I'll probably order Scarlet and Duke, maybe Cobra Commander on Tuesday when I get paid. We'll see. At least I'm getting Scarlet and Duke, but Cobra Commander might be hit or miss right now. But I figured I would just open up a couple of these because I'm not going to give any some of these their own dedicated videos. Like this, I'm not going to give her own dedicated video, so... And I won't be doing size comparisons or anything. I don't have anything to size compare to, really. At least not for Marvel Legends. I guess I can throw in my... I have a Mezco Wolverine on hand. And yeah, I like the colors in there. I don't really care about the movie or that artwork. I would never keep this, but... Not bad. For accessories, you get the Build-A-Figure piece, which I'm not completing Korg, so I don't care. I don't buy MCU figures. And that's that they work for a comic book display, or I need them for like fodder or something. Yeah, this is just a normal ass figure. She's got double jointed arms and legs at least, so that's cool. Legs are way smoother than the arms. She only comes with one hand to hold Mjolnir. I wish she came with two. That's annoying. It's an up and down hinge. You just put Mjolnir in there. You can put it in there by the handle or by the strap that the handle is connected to. But looks pretty big on her hand, but it works. I don't know if I'm gonna have her next to Thor or anything. Well, she probably will be next to Thor. But I don't know if I want them both holding Mjolnir. I guess I can do that. I mean, I'm gonna have Venom and Agent Venom standing next to each other, so I guess I can have two Mjolnirs next to each other. But, the only thing that makes this MCU is, number one, the design flourishes. She does not look exactly like this in the comics, but also her eyes are, like, whited out in the comics, which looks way nicer, so maybe one day I'll do that. But, I'm just hoping for a better, updated version of comic book Jane Foster Thor, because that's probably my favorite Thor, at least look-wise. I love the way Jane Foster looks as Thor. Unless you consider Beta Ray Bill a Thor, which I don't. I consider him Beta Ray Bill. Then that's my favorite Thor, but if not, she is next to the Mezco Cyclops. I don't have anything else to compare her to. I have the Marvel Legends. She's on a flight stand though, so okay. Next, I'm gonna take out the Kamala Khan. We'll just look at her. I don't know. Do I want to do I think I'm gonna also do Bucky Barnes' cap in this video, just because, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of that Captain America. And this brings back some horrible memories. The Avengers game is a game that I pre-ordered for the most expensive edition, the like $120 edition or some shit like that. And I was so disappointed with that game. Even story mode, which story mode is the best part of that game, and I was still disappointed because was constantly getting game crashes and freeze frames and stuff. Yeah, that game was very disappointing. I wish it was such a layup, though. They could have had the best game. But I do want to complete this Build-A-Figure because I want to use him as a, if I could think of the word, a Killer Croc. I think that'd be really cool. Or I could put a custom head on him and make him into a comic book version of Abomination, which I need a comic book Abomination. But with all the rumors going around, I'm thinking that we're going to get a comic book Abomination anyway, so not really worth spending $80 to complete this for that. I might just buy him on eBay secondhand, already completed, and make him into a Killer Croc for the Batman villains. Or maybe not, because that Crocker is on Big Red Toy Store still, I think, for $60. And he's way cooler, and I could use him as a Leatherhead, too. So, but, yeah. So we got Kamala Khan, which is a character I'm not the biggest fan of, like, ever, but she's not a bad character. She can be a little annoying in the Avengers game, in my opinion. And I didn't finish the show, the MCU show. But from what I saw, I liked, what is it, Iman Veli? Is that her name? It's Iman Veli or something like that. Her portrayal of Kamala was pretty spot on, in my opinion. I don't like the way that they decided to do her powers or anything, but this is, this will work as a comic book version. I mean, besides this, I mean, she doesn't have this, like, flourish in the comic book, I don't think, but, and the boots are just regular boots in the comic books, but they don't have straps or anything, but besides that, this will work. And then she has stretchy hands, which are pretty cool, so it's nice to have. She's just got the hinge and swivel, which, even if this was like a newer figure, would make sense to me because she has swappable arms. It would make sense that she has a hinge and swivel, but you just swap those out, and that's probably how I'll display her, with big hand, Fingoria. If you've watched Oni Plays, you get that reference. But yeah, so maybe I won't have her with those stretching arms, but she'll definitely be with A Miles and Spider-Gwen, or I don't know, I only have one Spider-Gwen, so Spider-Gwen's just on Spider-Verse shelf. But she'll be with at least Gwenpool and Miles. Next, we'll just go into Rose. You'll notice I bought a lot of female figures this month. I wanted to start filling out my female collection. I bought 4. I mean, that's not the majority, but I did buy a lot this month. Mostly, I don't buy a lot of female figures because companies don't make them very well. Especially old Marvel Legends female figures are ass. Like, they're not good. At least they're not as good as the male figures are, which makes me sad because there's a lot of females that I really want. Like, I want a perfect 616 comic book Black Cat, on this type of body, that Black Widow debuted. I'm hoping we get that. I know we're getting the video game version, and I'm gonna get that because I'm just going to use that as, like, a Black Cat. I don't know if I'll use that as on the 616 shelf, but I'm going to use it as Black Cat and just have her and just play with her because she's my favorite Marvel character, so. But perfect world would be Amazing Yamaguchi to do her because they already did Catwoman, so. But this guy, he's just in a suit. I mean, that's why I decided I wasn't going to review him separately. If I got the whole wave at once, I probably would have reviewed him with them. Well, I definitely would have reviewed him with them, but he's just a dude in a suit. He'll look pretty good on the shelf. I like the shoes. The shoes are pretty cool. The rose adds a nice pop of color. I've always liked the design for his, like, mask thing. I think that's pretty unique and cool. And then he's got a pointing finger and a trigger finger hand. I wish he had 2 trigger finger hands because I would like the whole. Comes with 2 guns and a rose, and you can only hold the rose in the trigger finger hand. So I wish he came with more trigger finger hands, at least 2 trigger finger hands, because I'm never gonna have this guy fisting. Never gonna have this guy throwing fisticuffs. But he also comes with these guns. Seen them before. They're still good to have. But yeah, he's just gonna go stand on a shelf. I'm never gonna really pose this guy up for fun or anything because he doesn't really have that great of articulation. It's just a suited body, and I don't really like Marvel Legends suited bodies, but he's a kind of a necessary evil for the shelf, I feel like. Next, we'll go with Siren, and I don't know why I didn't pick up Banshee. I think I had to pay rent. I think that's what it was, honestly. I think I was like $25 short, and she was cheap. She was $15. So I got her, and I was like, I'll just get, when I get Banshee, it'll be cool. She comes with half of the Build-A-Figure for Bonebreaker. And then she has 2 open hands. We can get those out. Oh, I dropped one. Okay. And yeah, we got her out. I think this is my first experience with a Marvel Legends that has this type of like material on it, which is not a nice material. It's like vinyl, but shitty vinyl. You can kind of move it, manipulate it, but not really. She's just probably gonna stand there. And I don't really need a siren for the shelf. I mean, most of my shelf is like very 90s inspired, because that's my favorite era of X-Men. I like all the other eras. I like the John Byrne era. I like all that, but the 90s is what, like the cartoon and stuff, is what my mom got me into, so that's what I like. Those are the looks. At least those are the looks I like the most. For the most part, you know, because I prefer brown suit Wolverine over 90s Wolverine and stuff. But yeah, since I'm getting a Banshee because I really like Banshee, and I kind of want to try to complete the giant size X-Men cover, Banshee is required for that. But I figured I'd just get his daughter. She's $15 on Big Bad Toy Store. Yeah, she comes with a pair of open, like, flying hands. No Screaming Head sculpt, though, which is really stupid. And that's literally her power. Like, I would have been preferred with her coming with a Screaming Head sculpt and no this type of head, no neutral face, because her power set is literally screaming, and you can't have her flying above the rest unless she's screaming. That's like her power. So Marvel Legends fumbles sometimes, Hasbro fumbles sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's still a toy line I love. And then next up, I think I'm also going to open up the MCU Red Hulk, because I don't think he's going to get his own video either, because he's not a figure I'm too excited about. And this is the only figure I have that was an older figure from the like windowless packaging days, because he was an exclusive to Walgreens or something like that, I believe. But I only picked this up on Big Bad Toy Store because I trust them and they never steered me wrong. And I trust them to actually send me the proper figure and not scam me like Amazon. Amazon's the only place. Amazon and Walmart.com are the only places I've gotten scammed for action figures. Not even eBay has scammed me. I bought a whole ass PS5 on eBay, and I didn't get scammed. So yeah, that's fun. It's still fun. Sorry you have to be looking at my ugly face while I ramble so much, but you get what you get, I guess. Alrighty, let's get all the accessories out of the shitty plastic bags that they put all these in. Got everything out, right? Yeah, okay. And then, this is this, I kind of also got this because of the history of Bucky Cap and how important he is to Marvel Legends. But also, I mostly just got him to go with Sam and Steve. I thought it'd be cool to have all three of the like alternate caps on there. I also have U.S. Agent, so I'll also John Walker, so I'll also put him up there probably together. He comes with a pair of alternate fists. He's got trigger finger on in the package and a grippy knife. Wish he had 2 trigger finger hands, but whatever. He comes with the same pistol I just looked at with Rose, and the knife we've all seen a million times. You can just holster those. I'll just put those in. It's a little... The knife's definitely going to get bent out of shape, but it's probably something I'm never going to take out. And then you just kind of got the knife and the gun in there. And then you have the Captain America shield, this is the smaller one, I believe. So I don't like the small ones, but at least it's a complete shield. At least it's a complete one. Secret Wars cap and 25th anniversary cap. But honestly, he's a smaller guy than Steve, I feel like, so the smaller shield works a little better for Bucky, so that's pretty cool. That's actually a pretty good figure. He's got butterfly joints, he's double jointed, pinless limbs, yeah, it's pretty cool. Maybe that'll be the new Bucky, that should be the new Bucky Cat body reuse, honestly. But although they don't reuse bodies as much, I mean, they do for the females, but I feel like they don't always reuse that many male bodies anymore. I mean, they do, but we get a lot more new sculpts, I feel like. And then you get the background for that. Yeah. Oh, and I forgot, I was going to buy the leader from that same Abomination, I think, Build-A-Figure where I completely forgot to buy the leader. Because I need that for the villain shelf. I need more Hulk villains in my life. But I don't want MCU leader. Ever. I don't ever want an MCU leader. I hated that version of the leader. Genuinely hated it. And this motherfricker is big, bro. He is really big. But he's not as big as a comic book Hulk would be. But yeah, like I said, I saw this guy going, not this guy, but the, before the movie release, this guy was people were trying to sell this guy for a lot more than he's worth. But then the movie, people don't like the movie, so, which makes me happy because I was also able to get this guy without paying too much. But yeah, it doesn't make me happy that the movie flopped, but it makes me happy that the toys went for way cheaper. But since I love Red Hulk so much, I decided just to get this guy to stand him in. And if I ever just get a comic book one, I will just replace this guy. Either put him on, make him into a DC character. Maybe like a Trigon, I think. Something like that. I could probably convert this into a Trigon with some effort. Once I start getting into customizing more. I think I could probably turn this into like a Trigon if I ever want to. But I don't need to do that right now because he's a Red Hulk. But he's pretty cool. He's got pinless joints. I think this is the first Hulk with pinless joints. I don't even think the Maximum is going to have pinless joints, is it? But that Maximum beats this guy out because this guy doesn't have any butterfly joints. Even the pinned Hulk has butterfly joints, like, that go back. They don't go forward, but they go back. The Maximum's going to have the rubber overlay where it goes forward. So I know people aren't happy about that Maximum. I'm still going to pick it up. I like the way it looks. I like all the heads for it. I like the way it looks, so I'll probably still pick it up. I mean, I have Maximum Spider-Man. I have 2 of those on pre-order. I was going to do a giveaway, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that. But, yeah, this guy's pretty cool. He's a little smaller for a Hulk, which is fine. I mean, but I feel like Red Hulk should be bigger than Green Hulk. But, this is fine. I mean, he's going to go right up there beside Zemnu on the villain shelf, even though I prefer him as, like, a Thunderbolts type guy. You know, the leader of the that's my favorite version of the Thunderbolts team was Thunderbolt Ross's version with, Deadpool, Elektra, Punisher, and Agent Venom. Those are some of my favorite characters, so it worked out very well. And I would love to get repaint of that new Punisher in red, and then get a repaint of that new Agent Venom in red. That would be really dope. So maybe one day, or maybe I'll repaint that one in red because I'm definitely getting the Amazing Yamaguchi. Definitely getting that. So, and then for accessories, he comes with like just a stoic head and then a pair of fists. So yeah. He looks pretty good for what he is. I don't have a Hulk to compare him to, though. So, just take my word for it. He's not too big. He's not too big of a guy. I mean, he's big, but he's MCU Hulk big, you know what I mean? This is like, I feel like this is the smart Hulk body. But, I'm still glad to have him. I'm glad I have a Red Hulk in the collection, even if it's an MCU Red Hulk. Same thing with, like, how I have Man-Thing. He's technically MCU Man-Thing, but he works as comic book Man-Thing. This guy will work as comic book Red Hulk until, and I can just justify him being a little smaller as he's older, you know? Thunderbolt Ross has always been an older guy, and so I'm cool with that. Yeah. I think the rest of these I'm going to review separately. Do I want to review the Warbird separately? What are we thinking? She's really just the same body as Black Widow, so let's just get her out. I'll just not review her separately. I think the only ones I'm going to review separately are the two big Marvel Legends, the SH Figure Arts, and the Mezco. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll review all of the G.I. Joe Classified Retro Series figures when they come in at the same time. Because I can't wait to put those with the Roadblock. But yeah, this is kind of like that. This is the Marvel background type thing. It's pretty nice. It's still getting thrown away all the same though. I don't really keep packaging this up. The only packaging I have at this point, I think I've thrown away all other packaging, even the stuff I said I was going to keep. Eventually I just throw it away because I don't have the space for it. But the only packaging I have is my Mezco TMNT packaging. I still have that. Well, I have some packaging. Mostly my Mezcos. I have the packaging for the Amazing Yamaguchi Spider-Gwen because I love the big American cheeseburger time quote. I like that quote on it, so I kept that. And then I kept a few from the characters that I like and the figures I really like. But that's I keep all my Mezco tins. So yeah. Because those are great for storing stuff, accessories and stuff. Yeah, she's just a average, super articulated female, which is still under-articulated, I feel like. But for Marvel Legends, it's really good. Got the crunch and everything. I think this is a different body than the Black Widow, I think. And the Yelena, not Yelena, what was Agent 13. But I feel like this body should have been bigger. I feel like Carol Danvers should be bigger than Black Widow, and I feel like this body is a little small. I know this isn't Carol Danvers, this is Moonstone, so it works a little better, I feel like, for Moonstone, but for the Carol Danvers, this is the same body from the Carol Danvers one, I believe, and it's small, it's too small, so, but she's gonna work as a, you know, just a Captain Marvel for my shelf. I don't have the Dakin or the Norman Osborn or anything like that right now, if I ever even pick those up. I would rather fill out the Illuminati than the Dark Avengers at this moment, so we'll see where that goes. But right now I'm just trying to get into my general Marvel display. I want to start filling out my Batman Rogues gallery, and then I'm doing G.I. Joe right now. I think I'm just going to get those 3 classified figures, and then I'm done until more stuff starts to catch my eye for that series. If Mezco does a G.I. Joe Cobra Commander, I will definitely be picking that up because I feel like they would kill it with like the visor, and I know they would do the hooded head, which is a little touchy, but I feel like they would definitely do that as like an alternate head. But yeah, this Moonstone, I'm just gonna call her Carol because I'm using her as Carol. She comes with this alternate head, which looks cool. This is probably the head I'm going to use, the whited out eyes, because it looks a little more comic booky. I do wish that the mask was more the thicker one for the whited out eyes, but it's not going to kill me. And then she comes with 2 fists. And these magic effects. These are Moonstone's mutant abilities, but you can use them as binary for Carol, but there she looks like. She looks pretty cool. I'm glad I at least have this version of Carol. I'm not the biggest Carol Danvers fan. I don't like MCU Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel at all, but I like the Miss Marvel look for Captain Marvel. The black and yellow one, not this one, but this one's pretty cool. It's just not technically Carol Danvers, but I still like this look. So, yeah, my Mezco TMNT came with a red scarf that's wired and bendy, so I might swap this out for that. But besides that, she's just gonna go on the shelf stock, and she looks dope. So, yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what you want to see in the future, I guess. They're probably gonna be fewer and far between for Marvel Legends, at least, because I want to finish the Blackheart Build-A-Figure. I want to get all that, and there's a couple other Build-A-Figure. I want to eventually do Ursa Major Build-A-Figure wave. I want to just get that whole wave knocked out because I like that whole wave for the most part, and I need the Ursa Major. I love Ursa Major. I want to get my Winter Guard. There's another build. Oh, the Nemesis Wave. I also want to complete that. So, we'll see about all that. We'll see. I want to get Chode. I like to say Chod, but people call him Chode. I probably will finish Bonebreaker. Because I want to get my mutant world filled out more. Because mutants are the things I probably care most about in Marvel. Aside from Spider-Man, it's probably mutants. So, we'll see. But I want DC to start taking a little more focus. I don't have as many DC figures as I would like. It's just there's not that many good DC figures. But aside from, there's Mafex and Mezco. Those are expensive. Those are hard to get into sometimes. And then Mafex, I don't really play with the Mafexes. Any Mafexes I own, I don't really just sit around and play with them because they scare the shit out of me. They break and they feel so fragile. So that's also a bit of a problem. So, but hopefully we'll start getting better. You know, more 6-inch scale figures. Now that Todd doesn't have the license anymore. I know people aren't a fan. Some people aren't fans of Todd McFarlane stuff, and I'm not. But I'm sorry for the people that are. I will say that. It's always sad to lose something that you love. But, you know, maybe this new line will surprise everyone. It could be pleasant. I'm hoping it's pleasant. But I'm sure for some people, no matter what, it will be negative. It will not be a good surprise. So, but yeah, thanks for watching this long-ass video of me just rambling and being an idiot. Next, I'll probably review... I'm most excited for the Zorro, so I'll probably review Zorro next. And then we'll see after that. I might do both the Mezco G.I. Joes. I just dropped the camera. Sorry about that. Both the Mezco G.I. Joe figures maybe in the same video. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.